Good afternoon, Madam Pushpa. Thank you for giving me your time today. My name is Anarkali and I'm conducting an interview for my course project about managing educational businesses. I would like to ask you a few questions about the challenges, tips to sustain the business, and how you maintain good organizational behavior at your school. Shall we begin, Madam? The first question is, could you briefly introduce your kindergarten? How long you have been running, the number of students and staff in your kindergarten?
Hi, I'm teacher Pushpa. My kindergarten name is Tadika Azam Jaya. I've been running this kindergarten for the past 8 years. So far, at the moment, currently, I'm running this kindergarten with only one extra teacher because the number of students is very low at the moment, which is only about 11 students. But if we look back the past years, I have been successfully running this kindergarten for the past 8 years because of the number of students were quite high, within the range of 23 to 30 students, and with the amount of at least 3 to 4 teachers.
All right, madam. Second question is, what are the biggest challenges you face in managing and running your business?
The challenges that I faced throughout the years of running this business is, one is definitely finance. Finance, in a sense, like during the pandemic, we did not have enough uh, resources to run the kindergarten. That is one thing. Another challenge was to have a good staff, a long-lasting teachers to come in to teach the children and teach them the way that we actually want them to be taught, because we wanted to maintain the standard of the kindergarten. The academic standard part of it is very important, you see, because we don't want them to just come and teach and go, and the children don't really learn anything by end of the day. So that was one of the challenge that I faced. So I had to send them for trainings, and I had to teach them personally and things like that. Another challenge is the parents themselves. To get them to work with us is not very easy. So the that is the biggest challenge, working with the parents. It could be due to the children's childcare, academic, or even for the matter, the financial side, where they need to pay our salary, I mean our fees and all that. So that was also a challenge for us, a big challenge. How we managed it, we try to sort things out accordingly. So we had to call in the parents individually, have a meeting with them, discuss with them overall everything about the child's progress, about the child's academic, and then about the child's behavior. We even have children with special care need, which we need to guide the parents in a proper way where they can go through the proper channel, where when do they need to go for therapy, when they can come back to us to school, and what is their behavior at school. We need to even work along with the doctors who are treating them in the hospitals. They give us forms to fill in. We have to fill in and give them the feedback of what is the progress of the child from the first day they came in to the current date, and things like that. So for the normal children, we have other issues, maybe pertaining to their behavior in the school, or even to the matter for the matter their academic, where they can improvise, how they can improvise, and things like that.
The third question is, how do you overcome financial or enrollment challenges in your kindergarten?
Well, the financial challenges are the biggest challenge for us. We initially, when the pandemic hit us, we actually had, I mean, it was a big loss for us, and we could not even pay our teachers salary. What happened was, when they first initially the government announced a minimum salary by so for the teachers, they had so many procedures whereby we had to submit so many things online and stuff like that. So when you do a slightest mistake, what happens is, you will not be paid by the SOCSO for the teachers. So that is one thing, and teachers had to go on online classes. So how we overcome our financial uh, problem was I had to ask my teachers to leave. I had no choice because I was left with only 8 students during the pandemic. So what I did, I managed all the three level classes, which is the 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years, on my own. So that way I could still sustain. I can still pay off my rental for my premise, and plus my bills. Besides that, I did not have any staffs to pay salary and things like that. So I was able to manage to cut costs on that part of it. So what I did was I managed to run the classes myself. So I had to set a timetable whereby the 3 years will come at what time, the 4 years is at what time, and the five and the six and so on lah. On the enrollment part, we could not do anything much because once it was pandemic, we could not actually convince parents to send their children even through online classes because from 30 students, only 8 managed to come back on online classes. The rest did not want to do that because they felt like the children will not be able to study online and they're still small, and some of the parents are medical staffs whereby they had to go to work, they couldn't see to them and things like that. So the enrollment part actually dropped tremendously and we could not do anything much on that part.
The fourth question is, how do you handle difficulties related to staff management?
Staff management is one of the most important role in our kindergarten business because we can't work without our staffs. So the first thing is we need to take care, a very good care of them. You see, when they go on leave, we need to acknowledge they do need that leave. And when they are on medical leave, also we need to understand, at times they are not able to come to work. So if we can give them that kind of preferences, they're quite happy working with us. And salary wise, of course, it is not more than what they expected. It is just the basic salary. But then besides that, I used to give them bonuses. And then when during festival, I used to buy them gifts and so many other things. I used to give them food, whether it is daily lunch or once in a while I used to take them out for a treat and things like that. So they're quite happy working in that sense. I used to have some staffs who are a little bit problematic in a sense like they come to work late, they are not punctual when it comes to work because they have other problems. So what I try to do is I try to alternate their timing so that they can come accordingly. Even in spite of that, they still had some problems, so they choose to leave because they feel they cannot accommodate my time and things like that. And I have had some problematic stuffs quite severe also when it comes to dealing with parents and all that. So I had to warn them for behaving in such a way which I would not like to share lah, because that is quite not a good thing to share. But this is what happened, and I had to ask them to leave. There is no choice because when anything pertaining to parents and teachers relationship, and when the problem begins with the teachers, then I have no choice but to ask the teachers to leave because I do not want to that problem to go on, and it continues with another teacher. I mean parent, and that parent comes back to me again, and things like that. But there are instances where some parents choose not to like certain teachers. In that sense, I call the parents, I talk to them. I talk to the parents, I make sure I tell them these are the things the teachers are doing for your child. So you don't have that kind of appreciation, it's okay, never mind, but don't condemn them because they are also doing their part. So far we have tried to solve it in a good manner lah. So that is what is all about staff management.
Question number 5. What strategy have you found effective in attracting and keeping students?
Strategies in keeping students is basically, customers are always right. That is the magic word lah. So when comes to dealing with parents, you have to be very humble, you have to be very polite. Even if they are at wrong, we have to tell them in a manner where they can accept things. You know, when you talk to them about their children, we have to tell them in a very nice way. Always talk about progressing and never pinpoint their mistakes, you know. So when you do that, they are quite happy with you and they don't change. Very seldom they choose to leave your kindergarten, which did not happen to me at all until this year, because when they started opening praskola, most of the parents choose to go to praskola because of praskola they don't need to pay, it is free, and then they can continue their primary education after that in the same school. So most of my 5 years who completed the 5 years here, about 6 to 7 of them choose to go to praskola because they feel it is free and they can always continue their primary in that particular school. That we cannot do anything, but then those who choose to stay with us are parents who really appreciate what you do for them. One thing is because the way how we treat the children, we make sure our kindergarten is only not for academic purpose. When the children come in the morning, we make sure that they are clean, we make sure they are not sick. So those who are sick, we update the parents immediately. So the parents will come and fetch them. Every single progress of the child is updated to the parents. So sometimes parents really appreciate these kind of little things. Yeah, I mean, most of the kindergartens, they don't say what is happening to the child in the kindergarten, but normally we will call the parent and tell them. We update them on the child's progress, on whether it is academically or it's anything to do with their health or behavior or whatever. But we have to do it in a very nice and positive way lah, so that they can accept it.
Question number 6. What do you think are the key factors to sustain and grow your business in long term?
The key factors to sustain your business is actually trying to improvise on the teaching methodologies, and then trying to bring in more and better attractive uh, syllabus into your kindergarten. I mean, a lot of people have offered me, why not take Cambridge English, why not try so many other things I can't remember, smart readers, and a few other things. Sometimes they even come and approach me for science projects and things like that, but then we have not tried on all that, to be very frank. Of course they have, I mean, that can be one of the factor to sustain and to attract more students to come in into our kindergarten, but then we have not been doing that. I don't know why, don't ask me. Probably because of financial uh, difficulties. We did not want to basically put in a lot of money into something that we are not sure whether we can do it or not, until I am really confident I can do it. At the moment, we attract our students by giving them a good reader program, bacaan program, enhance their reading, enhance their bacaan, do a lot of kindergarten activities with them. There are so many activities we can do. We can Google and see. We can also go through our Montessori method, whatever that we can integrate. So these are one of those things that I think can attract the parents. And in fact, that is the feedback that I actually got from my parents.
Okay, madam. Now we move to question number 7. How do you maintain good communication and a positive work environment among your teachers and staff?
The communication skill among the staffs and the teachers and myself, I always make sure that they are treated equally. That is one thing. Another thing is, every time during our meetings and all that, I always ask them what is their problem. They have to tell me. If they are finding any difficulties in handling students, or have finding any difficulty in handling another person, which is another staff or teacher, they're supposed to share it with me, whether individually or in a group. So I always remind the teachers that they are all in a group and they have to work hand in hand. and they have to, when I give them a task to be fulfilled, I make sure that I segregate the work among them, so that that will avoid any misunderstanding among the teachers. And always, I do not like them gossiping. That is one thing. I always make sure I tell them very clearly from the very beginning. I don't like to see them gossiping. I don't like them talking bad about another staff. Whatever they feel they want to do or they feel they are not happy with, they're supposed to come and talk to me. Same goes for the parents also. I always remind the parents not to shout or not to scold my teachers in front of other parents, or even pass any bad remark about my teachers to other parents. Whatever they find not satisfied, they're supposed to come and approach me, not my teachers. So I know how to handle them in a very nice way. So that is how normally we maintain our relationship with our staffs and also the teachers, and also among the teachers. I always advise them that they have to respect each other. Don't give bad remarks about a teacher who does not know something that you know more about, which that is very bad. So I used to advise them, knowledge is something you share among each other. So don't condemn your co-workers. Try to be nice to everyone. So far we have successfully done that. I have not had any problem with that so far.
Question number 8. How do you manage conflicts, whether among staff or with parents?
I manage conflicts among parents and staffs is like what I said earlier. I don't like my parents to shout at my teachers, pass bad remarks about my teachers. Even though they have something that is not satisfying them, they are supposed to come to me. So what I will do, I will talk to the parents, send them back, then I will call the teachers and ask them what actually happened. So we need to listen to both parties. So after that, we can come to a better conclusion, right? So you know what is happening. Then you advise them accordingly. Same thing goes when there is a conflict among one staff to another. It's the same. I will call them separately. I will listen to what each and every, both of them have to say separately, and then we can come to a decision. This is how we are supposed to do it, not to let them fight with each other, talk to each other, or tell them, oh, I don't know anything about it, you go and ask the teacher. I cannot tell that to my parents, but that is my kindergarten. Whatever said and done, whatever happens in the kindergarten, whatever conflict that is going on in the kindergarten, whether it is among the teachers and parents, or parents to parents, or even parents to teachers, it's supposed to come to me. So I will solve the problem. I don't want anything else to go on behind my back. So I'll make it very clear to the parents, to the teachers, or whoever is involved. After that, I don't want to hear anything about it, or I don't want this same thing to be repeated. So far successful, because we had one problem earlier with one of the parent and a teacher, but we successfully managed to handle that.
Question number 9. What kind of organizational culture or values do you promote in your kindergarten?
Our kindergarten is based on Montessori. No doubt it is a national preschool program, but we are also integrating a little bit on Montessori, especially for those who are 3 years and 4 years. So what we will do, the first training is your potty training, and then how to be independent in a sense, how to dress up themselves, how to eat themselves, how to go to the toilet by themselves, and then how to arrange their things, and so many other skills, all their personal skills. We try to teach them as well, even though if they are 5 years and 6 years also. And we try to tell parents, these are the things that we want to be in order, so they have to follow that as well. That is one thing. Another thing, our national curriculum is also very important, because that involves a lot on academic. Okay, academic wise, we make sure that the children are able to read, able to write by the age of 5, so that by 6 they are perfect. And when they go to school by 7 years old, they all can read anything, and they can write easily what is on the board, they can copy into their books. That is one thing. Okay, another thing is In fact, our vision and mission for the kindergarten is your achievement is our goal, which means whatever the child achieves, our goal is to achieve whatever the child has to achieve, either it is academically or even personally as a child. So when they go to standard 1, they know what to do in school, how to go about it, and things like that. Obviously, we are not a franchise kindergarten whereby we don't have any specific curriculum or anything like that. But then we do a lot of activity based as well. So we try to integrate both so that we can see a better result on them.
And the last question, question number 10 is what advice would you give to someone who want to open and manage their own kindergarten?
My advice to those who wish to open their own kindergarten is don't take heavy loans. Try to start simple first. Try to start in a smaller scale and grow your business accordingly, because the most important thing is the money, the fund that you have to run the kindergarten. Secondly, the staffs that you're going to employ for your kindergarten. Do not have excess of staffs. Try to minimize on that. Once you see your business growing, then maybe you can consider having it in a very big scale, having so many staffs working under you and things like that. But if you're initially going to start, that is one thing. And the most important thing is please be registered. Do not run kindergarten without registering, because that can bring a lot of danger to yourself also, because you can possibilities of getting fined by the by whatever jabatan that you have not registered with. So that is one thing, and you will learn to know the protocol better by registering yourself. You will be attending some meetings with the jabatan pendidikan, even for the matter with kesihatan and bomba and things like that. So you will learn more things, more new things. That is one thing, and it's also against the law to run a kindergarten without being registered. So that is the most important thing. You need to be registered.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience and advice, madam. Your insights are very valuable and will really help me understand more about managing an educational center. Wishing you and your kindergarten continued success.
Thank you very much, Anarkali, for taking the time to interview me. I truly appreciate the opportunity to share my experiences and passion for early childhood education. It was actually a great pleasure talking to you.